Hello, I'm Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. We haven't had a whole lot of rain around here. Overnight, a few scattered light showers, most prominent down toward the Indiana border. Most of the weekend here is going to turn out to be dry and just a touch on the cool side. Where it won't be dry is down in the Ohio Valley and mid-Mississippi Valley, where they have had a ton of rain down there. Take a look at some of the rainfall totals. Over 9 inches at Lewisburg, Kentucky. 8.22 inches at Glasgow. Jackson, Tennessee, they had a tornado nearby there, 7.12 inches. Almost 7 inches at Memphis, almost 6 inches at Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Cincinnati, Ohio. And you can see the heavy rain there in Mississippi and at Roland in Arkansas. It's not just that they've had very heavy rain, it's just that the ground is totally saturated, and they are going to get several more days of rain down in the same area. This is a time when a lot of people are traveling south from Michigan down toward the Gulf, and because of that, beware of the fact that there'll be a lot of ponding of water, even on some of the roads. And once you get off the expressways, be careful, because there are some places there that certainly have some high water. It'd be tough to get around. This is 72-hour rainfall, and you can see where the heaviest rain is going to fall over the next 3 days over that same area from northeast Texas up toward Ohio. And you can see the more significant rain off to the southeast of Grand Rapids. To get into the really heavy rain, you have to head down into Indiana and Ohio. We won't see near that much rain up here in Michigan, but what rain we will see this Saturday morning, and again on Monday, we're going to see some snow move into the area here. That will be fairly prominent areas off to the southeast of Grand Rapids. Here's a look at the severe weather outlook area for today, and you can see a level 3 or enhanced outlook that extends from Louisiana up toward Memphis. Once again, the slight risk area comes up into southern Ohio, and we move ahead to Sunday, and this area just shifts just a little bit to the east. Birmingham is in the Sunday outlook on the west edge of that yellow area there, which is level 2. But some very heavy rain for anybody that's traveling down toward Florida. You may run into that. There will be rounds of showers and thunderstorms rolling on through that area. In terms of flooding, this is the flood outlook from the Weather Prediction Center, and you can see there is a high risk of significant flooding from Texas up into parts of Missouri there, almost up in southern Indiana. It's in the level 3 red category there. So I have to keep an eye on that. That stops right at the Michigan-Indiana border, where it's only about a 2 to 5% chance of any significant flooding. By the way, the Grand River and Comstock Park, an area where there's often high water during the spring, certainly an area that we'll have to watch as the river comes up pretty close to flood stage at 12 feet here during the day on Sunday. Coming up, we'll talk about snow, but first, let's hear from today's sponsors.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Time of the year for that. Hey, I tell you what, here's a look at 72-hour snowfall. First of all, the snow is easing back throughout much of the west, but still some significant snow out there in parts of Colorado and New Mexico. And look at the snow that comes out into the Texas Panhandle, where temperatures there have been approaching 80 and 85 degrees. They're going to be seeing a cold shot of air with perhaps some snow. And then it gets really warm out there again. Once that clears out, they're going to go back up into the 80s. But let's see if we can zoom in a little bit to Michigan, and you can see that the area over by Saginaw Bay could be seeing about 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. And that would be into the Sunday night, Monday category. And up in the UP, again, the Porcupine Mountains, Keweenaw Peninsula, the higher elevations to the west of Marquette, seeing more snow there, and it just never ends up there. I think Marquette had something like 53 inches of snow in the month of March alone, and it's still coming out there. A little bit of snow in our area here. I think we may see a few snow showers here. Temperatures will be at or above freezing. I don't think there'll be any problems on the road, but especially if you're traveling north of Grand Rapids here during the day on Monday, early anyway, you may be seeing some scattered light snow showers. We normally get about 1.5 to 2 inches of snow here during April, so that's not unusual. Still have a chance for a few morning rain showers this Saturday. Partly sunny skies expected here for the day on Sunday. There'll be some snow showers possible here Sunday night into Monday as a pretty good shot of cold air comes down. We'll only be in the 30s with wind chills in the 20s here during the day on Monday. So a breezy and cold day is expected. Stays cold here during the day on Tuesday. So here's a look at your forecasts for today. I think we can make low to mid 50s. It'll be a little damp out there. If we see any sunshine, it'll come late in the day. And I think most of the rain should be out of here by around 8 a.m., though I can't rule out a lingering sprinkle of rain even into the early afternoon. But temperatures well above freezing mark, even during the early morning. Humidity does fall to 60% here by late in the day, and winds will turn around to the northwest at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. It could be 15 to 20 miles an hour at the immediate lakeshore. Let's take a look at the temperatures here. I know the numbers are a little bit on the small side here, but see if we can take a look at some of those here. The green color indicates readings in the 50s, and this is the high temperature for the day. So we're expecting readings mostly in the low 50s, some mid 50s once you get down toward Kalamazoo and south, but pretty much most areas low 50s this afternoon. It is cooler where there's snow on the ground up there in upper Michigan. High temperatures here on Sunday, about the same. I think we can eke out upper 40s to low 50s here, but temperatures will start to cool just a bit late in the day as that cold air starts to filter on in. And then our coldest days will be Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures here on Monday. Look at all that blue there, and look at the temperatures up toward the UP. There's places up there that are going to be stuck in the upper 20s to around 30 much of the day. Average high temperature for Grand Rapids is low to mid 50s right now. So, that's a cool day. And once we get past that, temperatures should start to moderate here Wednesday afternoon into the day on Thursday. So once again, we have a chance for a mainly AM light shower. Rainfall amounts a little heavier down toward the Indiana border and lighter as you go north of Grand Rapids, where there won't be much of anything during the midday and afternoon. Sunday, I think we can get away with a dry day. Look for mostly cloudy skies. There'll be a little bit of sunshine poking through. We'll be in the upper 40s. Monday and Tuesday, pretty chilly days. I got 40 and 38, and when the average high temperature is 54, that's no bargain. And we do have those snowflakes there, that icon here for Monday, because there will be some snow showers. Tuesday and Wednesday look on the sunny side. It's almost going to be cold enough for a lake effect snow shower here Monday night, but probably not much of anything here. We're back to the upper 40s on Wednesday and low to mid 50s here Thursday and Friday of next week. Long-range outlook looks like this. Temperature finally gets a smidgen above average here by the time we end this period. This is April 12 to 18. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about a 7-day period, and I've mentioned this before. The first part of this period looks like it's going to be cool, like 12th, 13th, 14th, and then when we get to the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, it may be above average, and I certainly expect a couple of days in there to at least be in the 60s, if not up close to 70. So warmer weather. By the way, despite the cool weather that we've had here of late, the grass is turning green. My crocuses are done, and we have the tulips that are starting to come out now, emerge from the ground, and won't be too long, they'll be out here too. So we're moving towards spring. Precipitation looks near average, and again, that probably starts out below average and then goes to maybe above average toward the end of that period. So a warm and maybe a touch wet period coming up here for the mid part of the month. Well, Michelle is working at the airport today, but a few things she has added here, and a big weather day back in 1936, and that was an amazing year. You think the weather is crazy now here in 2025. Look at the year 1936. We had tremendous cold waves. We had the hottest weather that we've ever had in the United States and throughout much of the world. And we had violent tornadoes and hurricanes. Look at this one right here. This is the Tupelo to Gainesville tornado. It was on the ground for a long time. There were many fatalities with this particular tornado as it moved from Alabama into Georgia, or excuse me, from Mississippi into Georgia. We had a lot of hail and a very strong wind connected with this particular storm line as well. Let's go on to the next one and see if there's any more here. At least 14 tornadoes occurred during that period in 1936. Look at the death toll, 454. This is before we had tornado sirens and before we had people that knew to get to the basement. So many people went outside to watch and were seriously hurt. 2,500 people injured. Tupelo tornado rated an F5 on the Fujita scale, 48 city blocks and up to 900 homes destroyed in that particular tornado. And there were a number of tornadoes back in that era that had very high number of fatalities. Nowadays, we don't have quite that number of fatalities from tornadoes because people know what to do and take action. Okay, let's move on. Weather in Tampa, Florida, just because we love Florida. Yeah, Florida's a nice place. I've been down there for spring break a few times, but not this year. Expected high of 93 degrees and low of 69. Yeah, that huge bubbly ridge is down there, and that's kept Florida on the hot side, and that trend is going to continue. They have had a few scattered thunderstorms down there. I don't know if they've made it as far west as Tampa, but along the East Coast, they've had a few. But this time of year, they like having a little bit of rain to cool things off, and it usually doesn't last very long. On this date in 1979, Michigan State men's basketball won their first NCAA national championship. Team was the NBA first draft. This team member was the NBA first draft pick in 1979. He go on to lead the Lakers to 5 NBA titles. That was Magic Johnson, Irvin Magic Johnson, and I am correct there. He is still around, doing well, helping a lot of charities out, and still enjoying very much the game of basketball. Okay, this actor died April 5, 2008. He played Moses in the Ten Commandments. Well, that should be a giveaway, too, if you follow that. He was born in Wilmette, Illinois, which is the town that I grew up in. And let me do a little caveat on this here. I grew up in Wilmette. There's about 30,000 people that live in Wilmette, Illinois. But the hospitals are in Evanston. There's Evanston Hospital and there's St. Francis. And I was born in St. Francis Hospital. And anybody that I have on my Facebook page that I was born in Evanston, Illinois, which is very true. But a lot of people that grew up in Wilmette were actually born in Evanston. And he went to New Trier East High School like I did. He was Moses in the Ten Commandments. He was the ringmaster in The Greatest Show on Earth about the circus. He was in the movie Alaska and many other movies. The Omega Man, I believe. Let's see if there's a second slide here. Maybe it goes into that a little bit here. Yes, the answer is Charlton Heston. Interesting. His parents divorced, I think, when he was 8 years old. His mother worked. He didn't have any place to go after school. And so he wound up getting involved in a drama, and he was so good, everybody, encouraged him to continue on that career path. So it's interesting. Let's go on and see what the next slide has to say. Who played Ramses in the 1956 movie, The Ten Commandments? That would be Yul Brynner, with his shaved head at the time. And he eventually wound up getting cancer and doing a number of anti-smoking videos and films that aired on TV during that time. But that was quite a movie. Edward G. Robinson was in that movie, and was it Anne Bancroft? Who's Cleopatra, or the female lead? That's escaping me right now. But that was a cast of thousands. And it really was interesting. Sesame DeMille was the man of the cast of thousands who did those movies with thousands of people in them. Okay, let's go on. April 5th is National Dandelion Day. Do they still do the Dandelion Parade in Borculo? I'll have to find out. I don't know that I've ever been in that parade before, but that's kind of a takeoff on the tulip parade in Holland. They celebrate dandelions, and you know what? There's probably more dandelions in Borculo than there are tulips in Holland, because I go through and there's a lot of them there. Used to play golf a few times at the golf course there. There's 2 golf courses there now, but a nice little town. There's a nice church on the corner. It's at Port Sheldon. You go out Port Sheldon Drive, and you see that. But I like dandelions. Dandelions aren't quite out here yet, but they're coming. So get the weed and feed down on the lawn. Well, here we go. We got another slide. I didn't know this was here. A single dandelion can have 300 petals. Wow, I'm not about to count those right now. Dandelions are edible and can be used in herbal tea or to make dandelion wine, I will add, though I've never done that. They are often the first to grow on land that has been disturbed, growing in a sidewalk crack or after a fire. So yeah, they're a very hardy flower, these beautiful little dandelions. And they're very pretty. If they weren't so prolific here, we might choose to grow them. And in fact, up in northern Canada, they do. I was up in northern Canada once, and they actually plant dandelions because it's one of the few things that'll grow. It's very frost tolerant. It'll get down to 20, and then they'll just bounce right on back again. Interesting. Well, one more note here to pass along. On April 5th, 1992, Bosnia declared its independence from Yugoslavia. What 7 countries today have land that was part of Yugoslavia? I'm not going to get all of these, I'm sure. But Yugoslavia was run by General Tito, Tito. And of course, that was part of the communist bloc here. And that's divided up into Bosnia and Herzegovina. And let me see, Kosovo, not Albania, Croatia. I think we mentioned Serbia in there. All right, let's go on to the next slide here. Maybe we got them all here for you to list. Yeah, Montenegro. It's North Macedonia. I was just going to do a Macedonia. Kosovo. And they appear to be doing better. You don't hear from them very much anymore, but we'll take a moment on this April 5th to salute the former country of Yugoslavia and the 7 independent countries that comprise that area right now. Anything else? Oh, a photo from John Scully, who sends us lots of photos, and we appreciate it. He's on Lake Michigan between Grand Haven and Muskegon, and a beautiful scene right there. The days are getting longer at the rate of about 3 minutes per day. So you notice the sunset now is after 8 o'clock. The sun sets now a little after 7:15. And we're almost at 13 hours of daylight. Temperatures lag the position of the sun by about 1 month. So the sunshine that we're getting now will have its effect here in the early part of May. And we reach our, the solstice occurs June 21st, longest day of the year. And the warmest average temperatures of the summer occur around July 20 to 21, somewhere in there. Anything else, or are we done? That's it. We're all done. Hey, have yourself a great weekend. Thanks so much for staying with us till the end. Don't forget our sponsors, and thank you so much for, once again, catching a little bit of weather here at BillSteffen.com. Have a great day.